Oh, God, I can't believe he's talking about God. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to another video. Today I want to talk to you about a poll that I read recently. I've got some of the highlights of that poll that I'm going to tell you about. But it has to do with belief in God, Americans' belief in God. Now, I'm not going to talk about religion, but I'm going to talk about this poll, and then I'm going to give you my perspective and maybe a couple of things to consider. Please, I respectfully ask that you watch till the end. I'm going to keep this video a little bit shorter than my other videos, but we've all heard of the Gallup poll, right? Or the Rasmussen poll. The Gallup poll has been around forever, since the 1940s. One of the questions that they ask on a regular basis to develop trends to see where things are going is, do you believe in God? Well, still, the good news is a majority of Americans still believe in God. But the trend has been going slowly less and less and less every single year. Back in the 40s and 50s and early 60s, nearly 100% of Americans said, heck yeah, I believe in God, but not so much anymore. Today, we've had a 6 percentage point drop in the past couple of years. This is the lowest belief in God in Gallup history. Only 81% of the people who surveyed said that they believe in God. Well, that's still a lot of people. But if you look, so 19% of the people surveyed said they don't believe in God. Can you look at what's going on in our world? Look at what's going on in our cities. Look at what's going on in politics, in families, in neighborhoods, and communities. Can you see any kind of a correlation? We're drifting away from God and drifting into what? Chaos. Chaos. It says, belief in God has fallen the most in recent years among young adults and people on the left of the political spectrum. I don't want to get into the Democrats don't believe in God, the Republicans are better, because they don't do that, okay? I'm reading to you from the poll. Belief in God's fallen the most in recent years among young adults and people on the left of the political spectrum, liberals and Democrats. These groups show drops of 10 or more percentage points comparing the 2022 figures to an average of the 2013 to 2017 polls. But what is interesting to me, and I need to point out, what do you think the age demographic is of adults that have the least belief in God? What age would those people be? How about 18 to 29 years old? 18 to 29-year-olds with the highest level of education believe the least in our Creator. Think about that. 18 to 29, they know it all, and they believe the least. Tells me something. The trend that younger and more educated people are, the less they believe in God. I think that if we look around and we see what's going on around us, that there is a correlation. I think that we need to, if we want to make a change, a positive difference, we need to think about returning to God. Oh, God, I can't believe he's talking about God. I'm going to give you a suggestion. Send your children, your grandchildren, take them to church. I'm not a churchy kind of guy. When I was a child, my mom and dad, like so many people did in the 60s, and a lot of people still do, take their children to church. I didn't like it. I didn't want to have to put on those uncomfortable, shiny, fancy shoes my mama bought me and put on that clip-on tie and act so nice. I didn't want to do that. What has that got to do with anything? I wanted to play and be a kid. But you know what? Years later, some of those things that I heard, I wasn't even listening back then. They're like resonating with me as an adult. And I am so glad. So glad. We want things right now. We want our meals right now. We want our test results right now. We want everything right now. God doesn't work that way. I mean, sometimes God works that way, but most of the time it's a long process. This enlightening thing where you go, oh my. And you see things from a perspective, and you can trace it back to some experience when you were younger. So my belief is that, not picking a denomination. I think Methodists are better than Episcopalians, and Catholics are better than Presbyterians. Don't care what church you take your kids to. Take them to church. When they're little bitty kids, they're going to fight you like I fought my mama and daddy. I don't want to go. Let me sleep. Y'all go to church. Didn't work. Boy, am I glad it didn't work. Young people, we need young people to believe. Yes, we want them educated. We do. But there's a balance between science and education and understanding our Creator and why we're here. And principles that brought us here. Those biblical principles, they work today. If you say, well, 19% of the people don't believe in God. Okay, so murder's okay? Stealing is okay? Those things called the 10 Commandments, you can just break any of those you want. It don't matter, right? Again, I think we can see the correlation with what's going on in our streets, what's going on in politics, what's going on worldwide. And my fear is that as we have famine, as people start starving, instead of having faith in God and asking God to give us some kind of wisdom and direction on what we can do to help other people, that because we don't have that, we're not grounded with that, there's going to be more division, more fighting, more anger, more deaths. And it could be prevented. So, I'm not trying to get on a soapbox here. I'm not trying to be preachy. I'm trying to get... That Gallup poll blew my mind. The largest percentage drop of people, Americans, that believe in God ever. And that's where we're at today. I want to know this. Do you think that we're going to have, the next time Gallup does their poll, we're going to find out, boy, there's a rapid increase, in the number of people that do believe in God? Or you think it's going to keep going down and down and down? I do have some bad news for the non-believers. You know what that bad news is? There are more of us than you. There are. We don't burn down cities. We're not perfect, but there's a lot of us out there. We just want to live our lives. We want other people, these fringe elements, to leave us alone. Let us raise our families. Don't try to indoctrinate our little children. That's another reason to take your children to church. They're learning so much at school, and you don't know what the teachers are teaching them. I'm not saying they're all bad, but you don't know. I don't know. I do have a better belief that the church will teach them something probably a little bit more along my beliefs than some critical race theory or something that some teacher wants to indoctrinate into them. So think about it. Think about encouraging your children to take their children to church. Invite a friend. Dress up. Be respectful. It'll do good. I promise you it'll do good. And I want to see this poll next time go the other way. When you have to cut back, and we're in, as I said many times, dark times, and we're going to all be cutting back. I would encourage you to cut back on the things that take you away from God. Cut back on the bad food, the bad media, the bad lazy habits, the bad spending. Cut back. Get more grounded. Live within your means. Go for a walk around the neighborhood. Say hello to your neighbors. Get outside your comfort zone. Save. Don't keep going into debt. At some point, there's going to be more and more people that I believe we're going to all need our Creator's help and our Creator's wisdom to guide us. Thank you so much. I'm not going to talk about God very much on this channel. I'm really not, but I saw that Gallup poll and just had to give you my 2 cents worth. I want to hear your 2 cents worth. Please post a comment down below if you think more and more people are going to drift away or we're going to change the direction. I know what's happened recently in the Supreme Court, and that's a good sign for people who believe in the Constitution. Not going to go into politics either right now, but what do you think? Drop me a comment, say hello, hit the subscribe button. If I haven't run you off, maybe give this video a thumbs up. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. I'll see you soon.